Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making lasagna and we're going to be using oven ready pasta, which is a great time saver and tastes really good as well. Subscribe to this channel and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and let's just hop right into it. You're going to be needing 2 medium-sized red onions, about 3 cloves of garlic, a bunch of fresh basil, and another bunch of fresh oregano, 8 ounces of pancetta or bacon, 2 pounds of ground beef, 2 medium-sized eggs, 1 box of oven-ready pasta, enough to fit a 9x13 pan. If you don't want to try that pasta, you can always do a gluten-free version, just the same amount of pasta. Some olive oil as needed, 2 cups of freshly grated Parmesan cheese, 1 pound of mozzarella, 1 15-ounce container of ricotta cheese, 1.5 cups of good red wine. Now remember, if you can't drink it, you definitely cannot cook with it. 2 28-ounce cans of Italian Plum tomatoes. This brand is really good. I suggest checking it out. 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, and a 9x13-inch baking dish. So let's get this started. Now here's a cool tip I'm going to share with you is get a wet paper towel and place that underneath your cutting board. That's going to prevent it from sliding all over the place and possibly cutting you and being very annoying. So a thumbs up for that. We're going to go ahead and start dicing our red onions. Now, as always, you will be able to find the recipe down in the description box. So if you want to reference that at any time, or you want to come back to this video when you're ready to make the recipe, it'll be there. And if you do have any additional questions, or you want to make any kind of substitution for any of these ingredients, you can always leave me a comment with that question or comment, and I will make sure to get back to you. Now you want to save half of a red onion for the beef portion of this recipe. Add some of the olive oil to an already hot pan. Then you're going to add in your onions and you're going to saute that at a medium-high heat. Meanwhile, you're going to dice your bacon into small pieces. Add that to the onions and continue at a medium-high heat. Then you will start chopping your garlic, and you want to mince it. You want to make sure that you get it into really tiny pieces, because nobody wants to take a bite out of a piece of garlic. A trick is to add some salt. Some coarse salt is best, and continue chopping it. That kind of breaks it up even more, and then if you put your knife at an angle like I have here, you will be able to get a fine mince, which is exactly what you want when working with garlic. You will then add that to your onions and bacon. You don't want to add that too early on, just because garlic does tend to burn very easily. Some black pepper, some salt, and then you're ready to add your red wine at a high heat still. You want to let that reduce for about 10 to 15 minutes. Once it's thick, then you know it is ready for the next step, which is some of the tomato paste. Mix that in, and your 2 cans of tomatoes. Make sure you completely crush them so that way you don't have any whole tomatoes left in there. Add in 2 cups of warm water and reduce your heat to about medium low. And then you want to grab the half of the onion that we have saved. You want to dice that up because it's going to be added to the ground beef portion of the recipe. You want to then move those onions onto a hot skillet with some of the olive oil and add in your ground beef at about a medium-high heat. And you want to break that beef up. You want to make sure there's no big lumps in there, because it's just not pleasant when making some kind of bolognese or sauce. Then you want to add your fresh herbs into that with some salt and pepper. You want to give that a sear, and it doesn't have to be fully cooked when you add it to the sauce, because it will finish cooking in the sauce. Then you want to continue to simmer that. Make sure that that sauce has simmered for a total of an hour at least. Then in a separate bowl, you're going to add your ricotta cheese, your 1 cup of mozzarella, and your shredded Parmesan cheese. Add your 2 eggs and give that a good mix to make sure it's incorporated. Add in some of the fresh herbs that we have. They really do brighten up the flavor. And some salt and pepper, just like every other component of this dish. At this point, you can go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees and get your baking dish ready to start layering. You want to first start with the sauce. Make sure it completely coats the whole bottom of it, otherwise the pasta will definitely stick to it when it's cooking. So make sure that your layer is even and covers all parts of the dish. You want to add your pasta. I first had put only 3 strips, and then I started putting my cheese layer. You want to hold the pasta while you're spreading the cheese, otherwise it moves all over the place. And start by spreading it completely on the pasta and then go to the meat portions. It's a lot easier this way. Then another layer of the meat sauce, and once again, you want to make sure it's a completely even layer. Then I go back in with the pasta strips. This time I try to fit some more pasta in by breaking off any pieces that are excess. And then go back in with the cheese layer, trying to get as smooth as a layer as possible. And you just continue with the whole pasta, cheese, and meat layers. I found that this oven ready pasta, has a lot more flavor than the regular box pasta because it contains eggs, and so it has a more rich taste, more like handmade pasta. And for the last part, you want to finish off with the meat sauce. And then you're going to be grabbing your shredded mozzarella and you want to fill up the dish. You want to make sure that there's no spots that don't have any cheese. And I just run my fingers through it, making sure it's even. Place that into your oven for 30 minutes. If you guys do try out this recipe, let me know what you guys think of it. This is the finished lasagna right here. It came out really good. If you enjoyed this recipe and these types of videos, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up for more. And thank you so much for watching.